In a world reclaimed by silence, a lone girl named Sheena navigates the dusty, tattered ruins of a civilization long gone. Followed by a strange, multi-legged companion, she moves with purpose through the shadows, pausing only to water a solitary plant by a broken window. With a soft, "Good morning," she begins another day of her lonely mission to cleanse the land and search for any sign of human life. The camera pulls back to reveal the staggering scale of the desolation, a sprawling graveyard of concrete and steel where massive buildings crumble under the weight of time. In this silent city, the only signs of life are the strange, jagged growths erupting from the ruins like scars on the landscape. Yet Sheena remains remarkably unfazed, casually asking her companion if they should find some breakfast. It's a hauntingly beautiful contrast, a mundane morning routine performed in the literal shadow of a world's end. Stepping out from her makeshift shelter, Sheena secures her gear as the heavy door groans shut, echoing through the empty halls. Her small companion hitches a ride on her shoulder as she begins the long descent through the narrow, overgrown stairwells of the decaying apartment complex. Navigating the shadows of the silent city, she moves with a practiced calm, heading deeper into the ruins to begin her day's mission. Sayo reaches an automated checkpoint, her small silhouette cast against the towering ruins of a massive overpass. As she scans her palm, the system recognizes her as Ushimitsu Sayo, the 1,869,923rd registered user. It's a chilling reminder of the scale of the past. Out of millions of residents, the screen confirms she is now the only soul left in the entire facility. The heavy security doors groan shut behind Sayo, the mechanical clicks echoing like a final seal against the outside world. As she steps forward, the true scale of the facility is revealed, a staggering, multi-leveled abyss of industrial pipes and concrete that dwarfs her small frame. Deep within the belly of this silent machine, her solitary trek into the heart of the ruins has only just begun. Entering a massive storage vault, Sayo navigates the towering shelves and decides on a mega-spicy rice curry for her morning meal. Her small throne companion tries to assist, but quickly begins to tremble under the weight of several crates, prompting Sayo to playfully scold its greed. Looking over the remaining rations, she notes with quiet satisfaction that she is nearly finished clearing this entire section of the facility. Having secured her meal, Sayo finishes her morning prep by carefully decanting fuel into a small kettle. With her pack set, she takes a final, contemplative look at the concrete graveyard outside before stepping onto a narrow, cluttered balcony. It's a quiet, practiced routine in a world where she is the only soul left to witness it. Settling into her quiet shelter, Sayo passes the time reading while her small companion gnaws on a spare part nearby. The rhythmic chuff of the steaming kettle is soon broken by the sharp beep of a timer, signaling that her mega-spicy meal is finally ready. She peels back the lid of the curry, the rising steam providing a momentary sense of warmth in this frozen, silent world. Offering a brief prayer before her meal, Sayo stirs the steaming mega-spicy curry, carefully blowing on the first bite to cool it down. As she takes a mouthful, the intense heat hits her instantly, leaving her sweating and breathless. In the cold silence of the facility, this small, fiery spark of flavor is a visceral reminder of her own humanity. With her fiery meal finished, Sayo offers a quiet word of thanks before moving from her living quarters to the next stage of her routine. "Come on," she calls to her mechanical companion. "Let's get ready for a trip." Entering her well-stocked armory, she stands before a wall of weaponry and supplies, mentally preparing for the long mission into the desolate unknown. Sayo methodically suits up, zipping into her tactical gear and tightening her hair with a sense of grim purpose. The sharp, mechanical clicks of her equipment signal she's finally ready for whatever the wasteland holds. Leaving the relative safety of her quarters behind, she steps through the final heavy doors and into the hollow silence. "Let's head out," she commands, her small companion trailing close behind as she begins her long trek into the ruins. Checking her wrist-mounted map, Seo calculates that Residential District 4 should be fully cleared by the end of the week. As hollow echoes trail her through the gloom, she navigates the silent, concrete labyrinth, moving with the practiced efficiency of a seasoned scout. With a heavy rattle, she hauls open a massive steel shutter, pushing further into the heart of the decaying city. Seo prepares her rugged transport for the journey, her companion already perched on the dashboard as she settles into the driver's seat. Emerging from the shadows of the underground garage, the grim weight of history sets in. 50 years have passed since the collapse. Now, her vehicle is a solitary speck, navigating a monumental graveyard of steel and concrete, a haunting reminder of the day the majority of humankind was wiped out. As Seo maneuvers through the debris, she reflects on the catalyst of the collapse, the sudden arrival of alien life forms and a toxic miasma that suffocated the globe. Humanity was overwhelmed in an instant, leaving behind the jagged, skeletal remains of the invaders that survivors eventually came to call executioners. It's a chilling reminder that the silent world she now cleanses was once a battlefield where mankind simply stood no chance. Seo reaches the desolate 4th Residential District, where the once bustling communal housing is now choked by vines and decay. Activating her internal HUD, she scans the skeletal remains of the city until her eye locks onto a chilling signal. Deep within the ruins, a 92% match for crystal bodies triggers an alert. She's finally found a response in the hollow silence. Navigating the vine-choked stairwells of the residential block, Seo notes with quiet confidence that they might actually finish the sweep ahead of schedule. She pushes deeper into the building's skeletal interior, her steady footsteps echoing through the grimy, light-streaked corridors. Guided by the crystal body signal, she moves through the hollow silence, a solitary figure hunting for remnants in a world that's long since gone cold. Seo pushes into the heart of a decaying apartment where her search finally ends in a grim discovery, a crystalline humanoid figure, petrified and slumped against the wall. She stands in a heavy, contemplative silence, her calm gaze fixed on the jagged remains of a world long gone. The tension in the room is palpable, punctuated only by the sudden sharp twitch of her companion's claw as they confront this haunting relic of the collapse. The silence is shattered as the crystalline relic lunges with a lethal swipe, its single eye snapping open to reveal a hidden predatory life. Seo reacts with terrifying speed, meeting the ambush with a point-blank blast that echoes through the hollow apartment. Before the creature can recover, she slams it against the floor, her weapon clicking into place with cold, mechanical precision. Standing over the shattered remains, Seo quietly admits she let her guard down, but the physical ambush was only half the danger. She explains that the executioners release a lethal miasma, a toxic gas that, when inhaled by humans, triggers a grotesque crystalline transformation. In a chilling reveal, Seo turns toward the light, showing she is already a host to the very corruption she hunts, as a jagged growth tears through her jaw with a hollow, mechanical hiss. Moving deeper into the apartment, Seo discovers a tragic tableau frozen in time. An artist and his subject, both petrified mid-session by the encroaching crystallization. The jagged, cubic growths erupting from their bodies serve as a visceral reminder of the executioner play's absolute lethality. In this silent world, there is no recovery, as the grim reality of the ruins confirms. Once the infection takes hold, the victim swiftly dies. These jagged minerals are the physical manifestation of crystallosis, a terminal plague for which no treatment exists. Seo discovers the room is filled with nothing but portraits of the same woman, a final, desperate effort by the artist to preserve her memory as they both succumbed. It's a haunting testament to human devotion, striving to let her live on just a moment longer in a world that has already ended. Seo reassures her mechanical companion that she's all right, sending it off to scan the area for survivors while she draws her combat knife. With a practiced and chilling detachment, she begins to carve the cubic minerals directly from her own jaw. These jagged shards fall away with a sickening rattle, a grim maintenance routine required for a girl living on borrowed time. Seo wipes the fresh blood from her lip, her expression unreadable as she stares down at the final resting place of the artist and his muse. They lie side by side in the quiet ruins, their faces partially claimed by the same geometric crystals that have ravaged the world. It's a somber end to a tragic story of devotion, leaving Seo as the sole witness to a love that survived the collapse, if only in stone. Accepting her companion's report that no survivors remain, Seo offers a quiet word of thanks before carefully packing away the artist's final portrait. Securing the memory in her kit, she zips up her gear and prepares to leave the silent apartment behind. With a simple, "Let's get going," Seo heads back into the sprawling ruins to continue her lonely mission. Seo pauses at the threshold, a fresh bandage marking the spot where she just performed her grim self-surgery. She casts a final, lingering look at the easel, where the artist's last portrait remains as a silent sentinel in the dust-choked room. With the memory secured and her mission calling, she turns away from the tragedy of the past to face the infinite silence of the ruins once more. The devastation is absolute. Any area touched by the highly contagious crystallosis becomes instantly uninhabitable for human life. Seo's mission is twofold: to purify these jagged ruins for future habitation and to search for any survivors remaining in the silence. As the clock ticks forward, she drives on toward her next objective, a solitary soul navigating a world that has already ended. Observing what she calls perfect timing, Seo decides on a brief detour and brings her rugged transport to a sharp halt. After a quick gear check, she navigates the skeletal remains of an industrial complex, her mechanical companion hitching a ride as they descend through the concrete stairwells. Stepping through a heavy steel door, she vanishes into the facility's depths, ready to uncover whatever secrets remain hidden in the dark. High above the concrete graveyard, Seo continues her arduous ascent, a solitary spark of life against the decaying skyline. The data is sobering. Purification has reached a mere 0.002% of its target, a task that feels as endless as the silence itself. Pausing only for a mechanical meal, the weight of her mission becomes clear as she faces the grim reality that in all her searching, she has never encountered a single survivor. Seo perches on the edge of a concrete precipice, her small silhouette dwarfed by the skeletal remains of a city that once pulsed with life. As the fading light catches the jagged ruins, she confirms a heavy truth. The purification work is far from over and will continue again tomorrow. For Seo, this isn't just a job. It's a lonely, eternal duty in a world that has long since forgotten the sound of a human voice.